This episode of the Concord Caring Cooperative, Concord Village, downtown Brooklyn, New York, 11201, managed by AKAM, is brought to you by the environment, because these boomer scumbags have driven the country and the earth into the ground and screwed every generation that has come after them just so they could pad their retirement funds with more zeros. This article about former New York State Senator and Judge Marty Solomon establishes a long history of talking down to women and minorities. The article from the New York Post dated October 26, 2012 is titled, Brooklyn Judge Lectures Coney Island Activists Opposed to Boardwalk Improvements. After the group's lawyer, Ann Railton, argued that by law, the city must conduct an environmental review before replacing any of the 2.7-mile wooden walkway with cement and plastic planks, the judge fired back, "I would say I know a little more about this than you do." Solomon also boasted to roughly 70 people in the court that he knows more about the boardwalk than probably anybody here. I'd say the person that studied the environment and environmental law knows more about it than an ignorant blowhard like Marty Solomon. Yes, he's talked like Trump at least 4 years before Trump even ran for president.
Everyone knows Marty Solomon knows everything. You know it, I know it, everyone knows it. Nobody knows more about every fucking thing than Marty Solomon. Bigly. My imaginary friend called me just the other day to thank me for how great I am. You know, when they built this boardwalk 100 years ago, they didn't envision cars on the boardwalk or hypodermic needles underneath it, added the judge, who even noted that 7 homeless people living under the boardwalk have been documented by census workers. Yes, his comments reek of disdain for the homeless and drug addicted, which is just code for black and brown people who have suffered from his ilk's stupid fucking decisions for decades. Trump's father decimated the local economy of Coney Island so that it could be developed for assholes like Marty Solomon to move in and kick everyone out so they have to live under the boardwalk in the first place. Marty Solomon went to the Judge Judy School of Law. She makes for great television, but a real judge should at least bother to appear impartial and open to arguments before making a decision. Not Marty Solomon. He doesn't give a shit about the appearance of impropriety or talking to people with basic common courtesy and respect. Just like Judge Judy endorsed Nikki Haley for president because these assholes need a brown Asian to tap dance for white supremacy, Marty Solomon works side by side with Himatee Patel on the board of directors of Concord Village. Yes, Himatee Patel was there when Marty Solomon shouted me down for daring to suggest we should have a first aid kit in our private gyms. Because that's the way he talks to Latinos, and that's the way he talked to the Asian woman and the white woman who suggested the same thing before I joined the gym committee. Yes, Himatee Patel is the DEI hire of Concord Village, in the same way Colin Powell tap danced for George W. Bush's imaginary weapons of mass destruction. See, we got a brown friend that agrees with everything we say. We can't be racist. We voted for Obama. Himatee Patel was harassed by the same white supremacists as me. Marsha Rimler sent a letter to the board of directors complaining they put a brown person, Himatee Patel, in the apartment across from her without consulting with her first. This is an email Himatee Patel would get as a member of the board that Marsha Rimler was complaining to. And the board told Himatee Patel, shut up about it if you want some of this white power. We don't need minorities with a spine on the board. We need a minority that wants power just for power's sake, like Apak Shakur, Hakeem Jeffries. This is especially concerning because if Himatee Patel can't stand up to white supremacy in a co-op, how will her sister, Hemalee Patel, the first South Asian judge in Brooklyn, stand up to white supremacy in the court system? If you think that's below the belt, think again, because Himatee Patel is her sister's campaign manager, and that makes it fair game for criticism. What shady agreements did she make to secure her position? Inquiring minds want to know. Welcome to Concord Village.